Hi, my name is Gretchen, and I'm a reader and a healer, and I hope to bring people in the community together who are gifted to help them share their gifts with people and help people develop their own gifts. Um, this is my first video ever, and I have a small fan base right now that I'm hoping will grow, and one of my fans, Anne Macaulay Lopez, suggested for my first video that I talk about how I got into this. And that seems like probably an easy enough thing for somebody to talk about. Anybody who has any type of business loves to talk about their origination story. One thing that's challenging for me is there's so much tied into what I do that relates to belief systems, religion to an extent. Some people feel like religion and metaphysical things have to be mutually exclusive, something they think they can be intertwined. So that makes it a little challenging for me. But I was raised agnostic, and when I was in college, I took a religion class and decided I was atheist. But I've always said, as kind of a joke, I don't believe in psychics, but I am one. It wasn't something that came up often, but it's something I've said for a long, long time. I had my very first reading right around New Year's going into 2012. And the woman we saw, I wanted to talk to her about a business that I had at the time. And all she would talk about was romance. I didn't want to hear about that. And she's like, well, it's happening whether you like it or not. She called it. She had the timeline right. She had whether or not I already knew him, that I was going to meet him in first quarter. Everything that she said ended up happening. It didn't happen. I met him, but we didn't start dating till several months later. So, initially I'm like, nah, she's crazy. But it totally happened. I ended up seeing her several more times. And then when I went through my divorce, I went to see her again, and she just recommended that I get some books. And I'm not really a book reader, but I was like, okay. And one of them was basically like how to be a psychic. And I was like, do you think I'm psychic? And so I just read the book and started doing meditations that it suggested, and it totally worked. So I started attending classes at a local metaphysical bookstore and flipping cards and learning how to use different gifts. And I'm good at it. And so like when I say something to somebody, like I'll flip a card and just say, this thing is going on or going to happen or whatever. And then they burst into tears. I know there's some accuracy in there somewhere. I still don't know where it comes from. You're going to hear people in the metaphysical community talk about energy quite a bit. I wholeheartedly believe in energy. In fact, I had read a eulogy for a physicist, I think it was, and he was talking about how energy is infinite. So when you pass, your energy still stays around. So people should concentrate on that. And I thought it made a lot of sense. I'll tell you about an experience that I had 4 years ago. So I'm a huge Beastie Boys fan, and I have been since I was about 10 years old. I got the license to ill tape, and when I was 14, I learned all the lyrics to Paul Revere. And one day I was driving in my car about 3 years ago, and the song came on, and I just started singing along with it. I have PTSD from car accidents, so when I'm in a stressful driving situation, all of my concentration goes to the car in front of me. I just get so stressed out that everything else shuts down. If I'm talking to somebody or the radio's on or anything, it's gone. And I just focus on that car. I realized there was a brief stressful situation, but at the time for where I was in my PTSD, it was enough to take away all my other thoughts. And I realized after I came out of that stressful situation, which only lasted 10 seconds, 7 seconds, but I realized I hadn't missed a lyric. I was still singing along to the song, and I kind of made a joke at that point that even when I'm dead, that knowledge of that song, my knowledge of that song, will still exist somewhere because it was so deeply ingrained in me that it's eternal. And so it's just kind of interesting the way these different things have come into my life regarding energy, and I can't deny what I see. So I don't spend a lot of time talking about what I believe in. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about where it comes from. I don't really have any interest in converting somebody out of their religion at all. But I can tell you that I flip cards and say things to people that are meaningful. I also got Reiki certified. The first time I ever went for Reiki, spent $50 for half an hour. The woman wasn't a hands-on Reiki practitioner. And so towards the end, I peaked, and she was doing this over my body, and I was just like, man, did I just pay $50 for this? but I couldn't deny that I felt really good afterwards. And then like every hour the rest of the day, I felt great. So I had picked up a flyer for a woman who did massage, and she had this like $40 intro special, and I called her and said, are you still honoring this coupon? Because I'd had it like 3 months at that point. She's like, yeah, what do you want, Reiki? And I was like, okay. Like, I wanted a massage, but she said Reiki, and my curiosity had peaked. I'd done a little research since that first experience. This is maybe like a month later, you know. And when I went in that time, oh my gosh, I was throwing energy and I burst into tears, and I got so much out of it. I needed so much. And she said, well, I don't normally do this, you know, for customers, but you're gifted. She's like, you're natural at this. She's like, I teach. I would love to get you certified. So she agreed to come to my house and do level 1 certification just for me, so I could catch up with the people who needed level 2. She normally requires people practice for 6 months before they can get level 2. She's like, but this is really just a piece of paper for you. So we did that. I went to level 2. There were other people there, so it was more fun. We did Reiki on each other, and people were like, how long have you been doing this? And I said, well, 10 days. And they're like, you're amazing. And it was really cool. So that's just, you know, another experience that I had that I can't explain it, but I can do Reiki on you right now, and you know, you're liable to feel something. So I decided, because other people have given me readings too and said like, oh, you're a reader, you can make a living at this and blah, blah, blah. So I decided to give it a shot. See, why not? If I can make other people feel the way that I've felt after receiving a reading or a healing, I would love to have the opportunity to do that. If there are other people that are gifted and I can use my skills, my business growth skills, I would love to give them that leg up. And then I've got some ideas for products and things. So we'll see where this goes, but that's how I got into it. So hopefully if you had a question about that, that answered it. If not, let me know. I'll try to answer it the best I can. Thanks.